So now we're in Hungary, actually. So I think it's called Somló or I think it's Somló, with Meinklang. So Meinklang, you normally think Austria, but they actually have a farm that goes over into the border of Hungary. So you'll see wines from both countries with Meinklang. And if you haven't heard of them, I will be surprised because they're a pretty big name in natural wine. So we're excited to have some of their stuff in this month. But they're a really great example of how natural wine can be made and biodynamic wine can be made at scale. They make a lot of wine, which is not something that you're used to seeing in natural wine. And they still do it while being kind to the earth, kind to the people that work there, etc. So great example for the future. Hopefully we see more people like them, and their wines are amazing. So I decided to go with bubbles because, new year. Also, it's low ABV, which, I don't obviously do dry January, but it's only 10.5, actually 11.5. Last year must have been 10.5. So relatively low ABV. So the grapes on this one are, I think it's called Harslevelu or Harslevelu. Sorry, anyone that actually speaks Hungarian, and Juhfark. So those are two very common white grapes to normally see out of Hungary, and ones that I really like a lot and I think do well in a sparkling wine. So on the nose, and it's sparkling, but it's a pet nat, so I didn't really feel, the glass is dirty, ignore that. I didn't really feel like it needed like a flute. I think that, the bubbles are there and you'll feel them, but they're not a crazy amount where it felt really important to keep them preserved in a flute. That's why you would normally do that. All right, so on the nose, up at the top, it's got really nice minerality, and then after that I'm kind of getting like stone fruit. I don't know if it's like peaches or maybe like an apricot. In the bottom it's a little more tropical. It's kind of like pineapples, what's that called, like passion fruit, or just tropical-y, but there's also some apple. It really comes after that though. Honestly, there's a lot going on. Like for this wine, I would definitely consider a price performer. Like for it being pretty inexpensive, it really has a lot going on. It's not just fruit, so that's really exciting. Let's try it. Tasty. So the tropical fruit's definitely the first thing that hits me here. And then it kind of goes into like that minerality, maybe some of that like peachy apricotness after. It's got a little bit of creaminess to it. I'm going to guess that it has, been on the leaves. There's definitely a bit of sediment on the bottom. So it's loud. It's round. It's not that loud. I would say, as far as wines go, I would say it's a little bit subdued, but and refined, honestly, even though it doesn't look like one that would be. So yeah, so that's my guess. I don't know for sure that they, put it through mallow or had a lot of lees contact, but based on like the round mouthfeel and the creaminess, delicious. And I wasn't honestly expecting that. I've had this wine a few times, but it's been a while. So I was kind of expecting it to be more like a, Prosecco with no lees, where it's really just fruit focused and like crisp. And it's definitely crisp, but it's definitely crisp. It's just going to be more food friendly and a little bit more complex because it has that to it. So this is bubbles. You can literally put it with basically, not literally anything, but basically anything. What I would be eating right now, I keep wanting to say fondue with everything, but honestly, no, this is not the right wine for fondue. I know what that wine is for this month, and it's not this one, though bubbles normally do go well with fondue, and I love a good fondue in the middle of winter. I would do like, this is not winter food, but I like to make like Greek wraps. Honestly, what I would consider this? This is like a lunch wine. So I like to make Greek wraps for lunch pretty often. Put, like tahini and stuff in there. Like that's going to go great with this. Any sort of like appetizers, any sort of, anything that has fruits in it, like especially tropical fruits. Like if you have, I always say mango salsa, but whatever, like something with pineapple. It'd be great with this, a poke bowl. Man, I'm getting hungry now. That is what would be really good with this. Basically, yeah, like lunch foods. Think about what you'd eat at lunch that's like a little bit lighter, and this is gonna go great with that. You really can't go wrong because it's bubbles. So enjoy. It's a really great one.